Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do, let me get rid of that, is you are going to, let me get rid of that too. Um, you're going to go find the folder we made the other day that is labeled Current Events Project. Now, I believe we put it in Effective Communicator in your backpack. Now, if you can't use your phone, that's fine. I've got tablets right here. It makes it pretty easy. I will say there are going to be some things we're going to do with this project. It's probably going to be easier to do on a computer, and I'm hoping to get access to the new Chromebooks that we just got so that you guys can do it on there. But anyways, this is kind of what we're working with today. So to start off with, you're going to make this folder if you haven't gotten so already, and you're going to find it. And inside should be a topic proposal that you've started talking about already, and in it you say, like, this is what I'm going to do, and that sort of thing. If you haven't done that, that's fine. But when you're inside here, you are going to make a new slideshow, Google Slides. Okay? And just like everything else, the title of this is going to be Current Events Project. So when you get to your slideshow like so, you're just going to title it Current Events Project. And then down below here in the subtitle, you're going to make this the topic. All right? Now, whatever your topic is, whatever you decide on, it doesn't have to be what was in your proposal necessarily. I just need you to talk to me about it to make sense. I'm going to be like, absolutely not. And odds are better than good. You're fine. Now, let's, for example, say voter turnout. If this was my topic that I'm going to write about, this is what my project's going to go. And then the untitled presentation is just going to be Current Events Project as well. So that's why I did that last, because whenever you do the title on here, it'll actually auto-complete itself, which is pretty handy. All right, I'm going to stop there for a second. Anybody need more time for me to explain this, or are you good so far? That's also why I'm recording, so you can literally go follow this along. It's not a big whoop. So if you just want to listen and see how the whole thing goes together and then come back to it, that's totally cool too. Yes, it's recording right now. So yeah, that's the thing that's happening. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on then. And then if you guys need me to slow down, just flag me. And I can literally pause the recording as well, so I can come back to it as well. I actually erased the first period one because of all the announcements. Like I get started, new announcements, I'd stop, and then announcements and stop, and then I forgot to start again. So like, well, I'll just do it again. It's fine. Okay, so we are going to need a total of 5 new slides. Total of 6. The first slide is going to be the meme itself. All right, so we're literally just going to drop the image there. The next one, first paragraph we're writing, is about the meme. So basically, if you look on the back of this sheet where it tells you everything you're doing, it'll say, for paragraph 1, what is your meme about? Who is in it and why? What is the joke? Why is it supposed to be funny? So we're going to get to that later. So that's about the meme. The next thing, we are going to have, what is your current event? Okay, what is your topic about? You know, and there you're going to have like, what's the problem? In fact, let's just do called that. What is the problem? Number 2 was the meme. So what's the problem is number 4. So what follows is, what is the solution? Okay. And then lastly, the works cited. And this should already be done to some extent if you've done the proposal, because I asked you to find some sources. You need 3. And this is going to be imperative because you actually are going to have to cite your information in your paragraphs. Now, I'm going to make this easy. This isn't MLA format at all by any means. This is like my own, like, super easy, not terribly complicated way of doing things. So, I've already told you my project is on voter turnout. Let's do some research real fast. All I'm going to do is Google voter turnout. Okay, autocompletes 2016 election. I don't want to use Wikipedia, but PBS, that's probably a good site. Let's look at our information. Looks good so far, yeah? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this link, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to take it over to my current events project, I'm going to go to my works cited, and I'm going to put a 1 and copy my link. That's it. I'm going to look for another source. I don't just want to do 2016. We just had an election. So let's do this. Kentucky governor. Well, there we go. Courier Journal. That should probably be pretty legit, yeah? Does this look pretty good? Look at that map. I like this. We're going to do that. So our second citation is right there. So now we need just one more. Voter turnout in America. Let's see what we got. Census.gov. So this is from the U.S. government. This would be pretty good. 6 is going to be your research. No, 5 is going to be what is the solution. All right, so there we go. That's my research done, guys. That's all it takes. All you got to do is find 3 places of information for whatever your topic is going to be, all right? So let's get to memeing. All right, the thing you're going to use for this is called image flip, and I included a link on the guide. Yes, ma'am. Do you got a question? We good? Okay, so 3 is going to be about the meme, where you essentially explain your meme, right? And then number 4 is what is the problem. So that's where you're going to address what's the problem behind your topic, okay? And by the way, if you need more guidance on that, I've got it spelled out on the back of the project guide sheet. So paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, what should be in there, right? So that'll help guide you to answering all the questions you have. And if you don't know the answer to them, that's totally fine. That's what your research is for. You're literally just going to take it. Now, I don't want you to copy and paste from your sources. That's never really okay. Even though we're citing them, you never just want to flat out copy it, but rather kind of summarize, you know? So just kind of say what it said, you know? You don't have to be perfect. You just kind of give me a rough idea. Okay, image flip. We're memeing. All right, so if we come to creating a meme here, this is what image flip looks like. I'm going to go to create, caption, a meme or image. And so it starts off with this Tom and Jerry one. You know, I don't have to do that one. I got distracted boyfriend. I got the Drake, you know. And I think I'm going to use this one, right? But like literally, you can come over here. There are thousands of templates. Thousands and thousands and thousands. All right? Like so. So all you have to do to create one is you click Add Caption. And so it's going to take you to something like this. So I've got 2 text boxes to fill out. So I'm going to do something like this. Right? So the nice thing is over here on the right, if I misspell something, it's actually going to highlight it just like it normally would. So I want to make certain it looks good. Yeah, it's, you know, it's spicy. It's good. Hit generate meme, and there it is. It's done. So all I have to do is right click on it to copy the image. I'm going to come to my project. There's where my meme is going to go. And paste it. It's that easy. All right. Now, personally, I don't like how these boxes show up, so I'm going to click on it and delete it. But you don't have to do that because it's not going to show up. Okay, so next up, we're going to explain the meme. Why is it funny? So, what is your meme about? This meme is about comparing a reasonable action with an unreasonable one. Drake is deflecting the. Is he? I guess he is dabbing, isn't he? Dabbing on the reasonable choice to show it is not what people will do. Instead, he seems excited about the bad choice. This meme shows how many voters do not vote but still complain about election results. Okay? So that's a paragraph explaining the joke, long and the short of it, all right? Okay, so what's the problem? Well, what is the problem? Voter turnout is at an all-time low in the United States. Is this accurate? Well, let's make certain that that's what our research says. And in truth, I'm coming at this backwards. We should be looking up our research first. So what does this tell about voter majority of ballots have been counted in nearly 2 weeks after the biggest political as catapulting Donald Trump to presidency. 58% of voters went to the polls during election, nearly breaking even with voter turnout rates set during the last presidential election of 2012, even as the final tallies the states, blah, 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 blah. But among these figures are stark contrasts. While Clinton is leading, several million voters didn't come out to vote, which is telling me that this area of the Trump wave of huge shifting over to Trump is certainly not the story. Who voted for Trump were only slightly ahead of those who scored the last Republican candidate, Mitt Romney, in 2012. While voter turnout in purple states, slight uptick, at least 19 of the states saw lower voter turnout with 2012. Okay. A scenario that is antithetical to the presidential year voting that tends to increase each cycle. So again, fewer people are voting. So that's what this says. All right. So that was my first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cite that source of information here. The way I'm going to do it is really simple. 1. Because this bit of information came from my first citation. All right. Why? What's the background information? Why are fewer people voting? We saw it in rural areas uptake, but if you take a lot, you see depressed turnout there. It certainly has more consequential for Hillary Clinton than it is for Trump. So what's saying there is hang on, I'm struggling a little bit. Less people, oh shoot. Fewer people are voting because of apathy. All right, so that's 2 from that source. Let's check out another one. Courier Journal. Election highest voter turnout since 1995. Okay, this was the most recent election. Okay, Secretary of State. All right, it's also highest voter turnout rate for a Kentucky gubernatorial election since 1995. So what this tells us is that something has to really happen for things to change. The only elections that see voter uptick, which means more voters, is when there is a major political issue happening. Up. Oh, sure does. Image flip. IMG And if you look on this guy right here, it actually has it using image flip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this available to you guys on Google Classroom here not too much longer. And then you'll literally be able to click on the links and just go. So it should be make your major easier. Okay, so photo turn-ons all the time, blah, 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 blah. There's 3 sentences. So you see what I'm doing here, how I'm citing everything? That's what you're going to do. You're going to cite all the information in your sources for both of these paragraphs, okay? All right? Okay, so I'm not going to complete this whole thing just because I don't want someone to go on this YouTube video and be like, I'm going to copy this word for word. My project's done. So they're going to have to do some work. But anyways, I showed you how to use image flip. I showed you about the meme. I showed you kind of putting together your what's the problem, what's the solution. It's the same thing. You just find out what's the solution to the problem using your sources. And that's the whole project, guys. You don't need to share it with me because you put it in your backpack. So I can just go and find it immediately. So that's going to be really useful from now on because I think some of the people on the last project had an issue because they might have did it but didn't share it, didn't know how to share it. So problems, right? Any questions on this? So I'm looking for a paragraph on each slide that you're writing. Yes. So you'll have a total of 3 paragraphs plus citations plus the works cited page plus a meme. To me, that's more than enough work. So you'll be getting the same point values as you did for the paper. Now, how I'm going to grade that, that's on the back, okay? There's an actual rubric that explains the main criteria, and it gives you a total points possible of 50. So that's the same as the paper, right? And honestly, the writing is pretty self-explanatory. You have 3 paragraphs, you know, it's going to be on your slides. That's going to complete sentences. The paragraph, no mistakes, grammar, spelling, or punctuation. It's basically, it's written how it's supposed to be. And then you have 3 sources supporting your project. You cite your information, your paragraph. You use the technology appropriately. It's all there. So if you do just if you don't even include a meme, right? You literally just do the writing part. You've already got a 60%, right? So that's all you have to do to pass. Now, obviously, you guys don't just want to pass. You want to do well, hopefully. So you make the meme as well, and that brings it to rest. I'm not going to grade it on is the meme good, right? Because that's subjective. I'm just looking at is it consistent? Like, so, for instance, you don't use a meme in the wrong way. Like, for instance, if I had the Drake meme, instead of having the comparison, I just put voter turnout, voter solution. That doesn't really tell me anything with the meme. You've got to use it in a consistent way. And if you don't know how to do that, just look up Know Your Meme. It literally explains them all. And then basically visually appealing. All that means is that it's not like really janky looking. And that I've never actually taken points off for that. All right, so about that. This is the Unit 2 project. I'm hoping to have them due by next Friday. So we're gonna be working on this basically all day tomorrow, with the rest of the day today, and then at least a couple days next week. No, you'll be fine. I'm hoping to take block day as another major day to get things done, and then that way I can also get with you guys individually and do whatever needs to be done. Okay. Any other questions on this? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording then. You guys have the remainder